Zach says, would you rather have to go nuts to butts with Bryan every night to sleep or Chin? Probably Bryan, because a little peach ass of his. Also, as a native Texan, you're a perfect Southern dad, man. Proud of you, brother. It's inspiring. Oh, thanks, Zach. Andrew Carpenter says that Netflix card was a Temu version of the UFC. Yeah, it was like, it's weird, right? The Netflix card, the more I sit on it and stew on that and think about that card, I don't think it's something we're going to talk about in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, I don't think it's one of those things we're going to revert back to. I don't think anybody, when you think of Ronda or you think of Gina, you're not going to think of that fight. It's not memorable. It was, it was a cash grab. Bill Cruzin says, would you fight Francis for $10 million? Yes. How would you celebrate when you KO him? I don't know if I'd KO him. I'd probably choke him out if I could win. That's a tough fight, dude. Definitely probably wouldn't KO him. I'd definitely try to grapple his ass. I would turn into fucking Armin Sarukian on his ass. I'm not.
You do have like a very powerful overhand right?
Yeah, if it was open, I'd be down for that. But that wouldn't be the game plan. Would be wear his ass out, and if you are gonna mess around the feet, you do it later in the rounds. I assume it's a 5-round fight, so that 4th, 5th round, maybe I'd get a little wild if we get there, but I'd be grappling the fuck out of him. I'd Ben Askren that motherfucker. Tucker Micro says, how do you have self-restraint not to snap Callen's head off his gay little shoulders? I love his retarded hot takes, but you could croak him and just say it was training accident. I know you know how to dispose of evidence. Just saying, love your shows. Don't be so hard on Chin. But he put Chan. There's restraints. Why would I snap Callen's head off, man? I love that guy. I wouldn't snap his head off. Don't be so. I'm not. Am I hard on you, Chin?
No, I mean, no.
No. We might be hard on each other. No homo. Diego Friara says, what's a good age to get married and have kids? I'm 24, my triation. What are your real thoughts on brain damage regarding contact sports? Also when it involves youth sports. Appreciate the hard work, you guys, especially you, Chin.
Thank you.
What's my real thoughts on brain damage regarding contact sports? Well, my 6-year-old and my 10-year-old start tackle football July. I'm the coach. So I'll say this, has there been some cases where people have issues? Absolutely. But think about, and I have this talk with parents all the time, think about how many people, growing up, I don't know how old you are, Penny, but think of the millions and millions and millions and millions of kids that play football from, I started when I was 6. That's when Bossy started. So from the time you're 6 to, you probably, not many people play after high school. From 6 to high school, I'll use that as an example. Because college, and you're just talking about a different animal. But from Pop Warner to high school, think how many millions of kids in America play football. Have you heard of some horrible brain trauma they're dealing with? No. That fucking movie Concussion, which Will Smith cuck-ass did, that put this weird kind of marketing spotlight on football and kind of ruined things for parents and for kids playing football. But when you think about it, the odds of you having any issues aren't likely. And these are facts. Now, could your kid get hurt? Absolutely. Your kid can get hurt on the playground. Your kid can get hurt at school. Your kid can get hurt on a trampoline. He's more likely to get hurt on the trampoline than anywhere else. Your child's more likely to die if you have a pool. So do you get rid of the pool? Do you get rid of the trampoline? Like, how much do you want to protect them? Soft parents make for soft kids. So I'm not saying your kid needs to be, running in and being the wedge breaker and lighting kids up and dishing out concussions. But in general, especially when they're 6, those kids really don't hit hard enough to do crazy damage. Even at Tiger's age at 10, Tiger's a big kid. He gets to be blindsided a kid, or if he's playing middle linebacker, the kid's not looking, there could be some issue, but that's life, man. You get back up and get to it. So I think the juice is worth the squeeze at the end of the day. And it's how much do we want to shelter our kids? And I think if you look at the decline of participation in football, how's that going for us? It just creates softer boys, and those boys turn into men, and then you get what we have today. Very, very soft people who want to get online and complain about things and dye their hair purple and change their pronouns and talk about mental health all fucking day and not do anything about it. So sign your kid up for fucking football or wrestling or baseball. Get them active. I don't give a fuck what it is. Swimming, tennis, I don't give a fuck. But get them active.
Brendan Schaub with another Patreon Q&A with the most obvious fake questions written by Chin. Now, some of the questions are real, all the real ones are the ones smashing Schaub, and all the fake ones are the ones asking benign questions no one would ever ask Brendan Schaub, and then thanking Chin at the end. Because obviously it's Chin writing them, and of course Schaub just has to lie even answering those. But this question, what are your real thoughts on brain damage regarding contact sports? Also, when it involves youth sports, appreciate the hard work, guys, especially you, Chin. And, and then Schaub lies. I'm coaching my son's football team. No, you're not. First, he said he's coaching. Then he slipped up and told the truth one time and said, I help with the coaching. Meaning, he doesn't coach. The coaches would never let this weirdo coach. And then he bothers everybody. And all the coaches hate him. We know this from the coaching staff back in California who uploaded two different videos. One video was Schaub bothering them at practice. So they edited a video together of Schaub at his kids' baseball practice, and all of it was Schaub like missing catches and the ball going in between his legs. And then they uploaded a video of Schaub getting thrown out of the baseball game. That was the coaches who did it because the coaches were the only ones who had access to the video camera recording the practice in the game. So Schaub is not a coach. He just bothers the coaches, and all he does is babble about Joe Rogan. But how sad is it to have to come up with fake questions? Because there are real questions, and enough, because a lot of the guys double up on the questions. But as you know from Chin battling the haters in the comment section on the Fighter and the Kid Patreon, he knows who's who because there's so few of them. And he knows not to answer their questions. But yeah, just truly sad that this guy has to do fake questions. But in this Patreon, you got to remember when he said that stuff about Bryan, that was after he had already trashed him and said that he's definitely moving the Patreon to his own thing and cutting out Callen. So, yeah. So when he says he loves Callen, you don't love him that much because you're essentially kicking him off the show, which Schaub has already said he wants to do during another Patreon Q&A. But let me know your thoughts in the comments.